Good morning, everybody. So it's Tuesday, 4/21. The assignment is posted on Google Classroom, but this video is just to review a couple of the questions. So you have to answer 878, the team photo question, and 879. 878 is just talking about similar figures and which types of shapes are similar and which ones are not. So the one thing to think about here is similar figures have to be proportional. So what that means is every corresponding side has increased or decreased the same amount. So think about the 4 by 5 and then the 7 by 9, 8 by 10, and 12 by 16. Which of these does the first number increase and second number increase by the same amount? That's all the info I'll give you for that one. For the next one, 879, you're going to want to create one of these tables for every set of similar figures. So that means for the rectangles right here, you'll create one of these tables. For these two triangles, and for the two isosceles trapezoids. So for 879, as we're looking through it, like they said, small and large, the ratio of the sides, that means that you want to find a corresponding set of sides. That means that this ratio is 15 over 25. That actually simplifies down to 3/5. So the scale factor, or the ratio of the sides, is 3/5. So this shape right here is 3/5 the size of the larger rectangle. What that means for the perimeter then, since we know these are rectangles, this is 6, this is 15, this is 25, and then we know that 25 and 25, the 6 is going to have to be, let's see, if 3/5, that means 15 over 25 equals 6 over x. That's how we're going to find our missing side length here. When we cross multiply, 6 times 25 gives us 150, which is equal to 15x. When we divide by 15 and divide by 15, we get that x equals 10. So that means that these two side lengths right here are 10 and 10. So perimeter now, when we add everything up, 6 and 6 for the smaller figure, that's 12. 15 and 15 makes 30. So the perimeter here is 42. So we know the perimeter of the small figure is 42 units. And when we work with the next one, 25, 25, that's 50, plus another 10, 60, plus another 10, 70. So when we take those two, 42 over 70. So those are our two perimeters. The ratio then is going to be those two numbers, 42 over 70. When we simplify those two, again, it looks like we could simplify it down. If we divided both of the sides by 14, that is also 3 over 5, which makes sense. Perimeter ratio is always equal to the side ratio or scale factor. Then the last part, our areas. Looks like the area here for the large shape is 250 squared. It's not feet, so I'll leave that out. And the area here is equal to 90. So when we take our 90 small figure, 250 large figure, those are our two areas. So our ratio is 90 over 250. Now remember that our ratio for the sides and perimeter compared to the ratio of our areas is always going to be different. The area ratio is always going to be the squared version. So this actually ends up being 9 over 25. If you look at the two zeros, they could be canceled out. And this makes sense or follows the rule because 3/5 squared is equal to 3/5 times 3/5. 3 times 3 gives us 9, and 5 times 5 gives us 25. So this is just proving the notes that we took yesterday, and I want you guys to do the same thing for these two questions right here. Just a hint for part B, you have to rotate this triangle a little bit to make it look the same. So it's going to look something like this, and we've got 4 and 60 degrees. Since they're right triangles, we can use trig and special right triangles to find the area. So you also need to find all of the sides because we know that we have to find the perimeter as well. So since this is a 30, 60, 90, and so is this, we know that this is going to be 12. This is going to be 6 rad 3. And we know that this is going to be 2, and this is going to be 2 rad 3. You will have to show your work as you work through this, but I'm just giving you some hints on how to do that. Same idea goes here. Since we know this is 8 times as big, 5 times 8 gives us 40. That means we need to multiply this by 8. So that's, let's see, 104, I believe. 80 plus 24. So that means this bottom side is 104. We can also figure out that since this part right here is 5, this needs to be 4 and 4. So we have a missing height. And then it looks like when we simplify this, that's 40. So this is going to be 32 and 32, and this is 40 right here. I know I'm working really quickly, but again, just giving you a little info, and you want to create this table again for those two parts. So that is your assignment for today.